Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to this session on Amazon Lex, where we cover the Dropbox use case. My name is Harshal Pimpalkute, and I'm a product manager on Lex. Joining me is Carolyn Terrett, program manager at Dropbox. Welcome, Carolyn. The topic today is creation of sophisticated conversational experience. This will include how the customer needs as well as the technology has evolved. Carolyn will describe how Dropbox has used Lex to build their very own bot, the Dropbot. Towards the end, I will be providing a quick recap of new capabilities that we have launched on Lex over the past year. We have quite a bit to cover, so let's jump straight into it. So here's a quick agenda. We'll be talking about what we have learned from you and how we are improving the product based on your feedback. Carolyn will describe how they have designed their bot and also structured their team to deliver the conversational experience. There's a demo that you'll see in the second half of the presentation, and then we'll share a quick recap of all the new capabilities and features that help you build experiences at scale. So conversational interfaces are useful. They use voice and natural language, making it easier for people to get help. All of us are accustomed to describing what we want in our own words. Let's say you're calling to find the status on a delayed shipment. You don't know whether you want to say shipment or package or parcel. You just know the thing that you were expecting didn't show up and need someone to get help to fix that. But why talk to an agent as opposed to just navigating on a website or sending an email? Because engaging with an agent provides you an opportunity to express the urgency and also get assurance that someone is actually looking into solving your problem. And this is why conversations and conversational interfaces specifically are effective. First, they can be built to understand the user, regardless of the terminology used. And second, they're able to assure the problem will be prioritized at their end. Second, conversational interfaces are on demand. You don't need a person on the phone. For example, if 1,000 people all of a sudden want to know if a new product has a certain feature, I can just turn on an effective conversational experience to answer these questions. They are accessible because communicating in real time can be hard. People may be multitasking and chat might work better for some. In other cases, maybe they want to do a hands-free and voice helps. Or this might be just an individual choice. For example, voice might be better for people when reading is a challenge. They're efficient because of the 1,000 people point earlier. You have decoupled the cost of providing a consistently good customer service experience at scale from the cost of having an army of people doing rote tasks. You've grown past that. Your people can now take on more challenging tasks and leave the mundane stuff to bots. So let's take a step back and look at our journey so far. 4 years ago, chatbots were still experimental. AWS and our customers collectively thought that we had an opportunity to innovate and solve problems. Conversations allow you to interact with the system on your own terms, as we just saw. You can bypass complex menus and interact quickly. Voice allows you to be hands-free. Overall, language is just more natural. So all of us believed in the potential and wanted to try out, but there were unknowns. For example, could the technology work beyond the narrow set of use cases? Would it be good enough that customers actually viewed it as beneficial? Most importantly, would we be able to provide it at scale to support a mass adoption? Well, some of you took the leap, and thanks to you, the early adopters, who saw the vision and invested in effort to take this off the ground. A couple of years later, we saw a serious interest in the technology. We had customers running pilots with real end users. And then fast forward to today, we interact with chatbots through a typical week. Whether you're paying your phone bill, interacting with your bank, getting your questions answered about healthcare benefits, bots are now mainstream. Clearly, some of us have it figured out. So, what worked and what's still outstanding? So in terms of what worked, let's take a closer look at Lex. Lex enables you to deliver interfaces that are accessible, on demand, natural, and efficient. So we check off on all the benefits that we reviewed earlier. You can use Lex to build chatbots for voice as well as text modality. It scales well across multiple channels. So you can serve spikes in demand, such as the 1,000 people wanting to know more about your product at the same time. Lex is easy to use, and you can quickly take solutions from concept to launch in a matter of weeks. It natively integrates with services in the AWS ecosystem, such as Amazon Connect and Amazon Kendra, to provide a natural experience. So let's take a step back. As we think through this, it is important to note that even as you automate, you don't want to lose the connection that you have with your customers. And Lex allows you to do this. Lex helps you scale customer support function while maintaining that very critical human touch that you need with your end users. So you see the potential and you see our approach. Now let's talk about where we are going with all of this. It's no longer just about one pilot or one project that spans many months. Customers are looking at building dozens of effective conversational experiences in a matter of just weeks. We are listening and we are learning from you. And based on that, here's what we are investing in. First, a comprehensive machine learning. You've told us that you don't want to make each chatbot a science project. So we are taking care of that for you. For example, we launched improved accuracy and confidence scores on Lex earlier this year. This gives you more control on how to manage the conversation flow. Deployment. We are talking about tens and hundreds of conversational experiences, as I mentioned earlier. So we are back to what AWS does best, scale and automation. With Lex, you're able to do everything through APIs. You can build a bot, test it, and deploy all through a single SDK. Analytics, it's important to analyze the conversations and continuously iterate. We are making it easier for you to identify patterns and improve the bot. And last but not the least, developer experience. You want to take these interfaces to your customers faster. A good developer experience allows you to do that. So let's talk a little bit about the main themes, the needs that we have heard from our customers, and we'll be drilling down on one of them in just a bit. So the three themes here are first. The first one is obvious. It's great to have the proof of concept demonstrate value for your customers on English, but it's hardly enough. Your customers are global and they are diverse. So you've asked us to support a larger set of languages, and we are doing just that. Second theme we have heard is your customers choose the channel they engage with you on. For example, I may choose to pay my utility bills online, but I'd rather talk to someone about a transaction error on my bank statement. Moreover, customers want to be able to switch channels when required. For example, you may start off a customer support case on a phone call, but then you may switch to texting the rest of the day. And then we have heard, yes, there's value, but it's hard to unlock. Customers have told us to make it easier. It is not scalable to hire a dedicated designer for building every experience. Moreover, every experience should not be a lot of effort. In the past, a simple change in the IVR, for example, could take weeks easily. Customers want that solved. So scale is required not only in operating bots, but also in designing bots. And we put all of this into builder productivity. And that's what we focus on in the remainder of this conversation. So let's double click on builder productivity. We'll dive into the roles that contribute to building a effective conversational interface. We have the entire team here working towards delivering an experience that meets the efficient, natural, and scalable bar that we referred to earlier. And then let's talk about each one of these stakeholders and see what's required for them to be successful. So the first stakeholder here, perhaps the most important one, is the customer. Delivering the requisite customer experience is really the ultimate goal here. And there are two parts to it. The first part is understanding the input, and the second part is responding with the appropriate output. And as you can imagine, understanding the user input requires speech recognition and accurate speech recognition. Customers provide different forms of input, such as numbers, dates, and alphanumerics. The recognition of these inputs needs to be accurate and contextual. For example, if someone says 83, that should be transcribed as the digits 8 and 3 for a number, and maybe as characters 8, E as in Edward, and 3 for alphanumeric. So it varies depending on whether you're trying to capture a number or an alphanumeric. And we've built features such as regular expressions to capture this context. Next stakeholder, and perhaps the most overlooked persona in this set, is the author. The tendency is to jump from the customer directly to the developer. Sure, developers get you there, but developers aren't designers. People who have scripted customer service interactions are really best equipped to script bots. Authors make sure the experience is efficient, aligns with the brand, and carries the right tone depending on the modality. Next up, developers. Developers work closely with the author to write code, driving the business logic. This could be logic to validate user input or fulfill the intent. And they should be able to work on the code with minimal dependency on the author. Decoupling the toolset so that the author and the builder can work independently, yet collaborate, is required. If the author has to write dialogue, for example, in the code, then that's suboptimal. Likewise, if the developer has to manage a conversation flow in the code, then it is again suboptimal. And we'll see how we have decoupled these two roles in the remainder of this conversation. Next up, the operator. The operator ensures the experience runs as expected while offering metrics for continuous improvement. Governance and OpEx are top of mind for the operator. Ideally, she should be able to prepare the environment so that when the bot definition from the author and the business logic from the builder are available, she can just attach to the endpoint and deploy. So this is the second level of decoupling between the roles that we are talking about today. Ideally, the operator should be able to create endpoints for end users without having to wait for the author or for the developer. And finally, we have the owner. This is the person who gets to wrestle with the all-important question: is it working? Are customers using the new experience? Is this worth the investment? In our experience, the owner will have certain business metrics in mind. These could be containment rates and the resulting savings. If the bot is able to beat these projected OpEx savings while improving the experience, then it's worth it to them. And analytics and ability to derive actionable insights are important here. So with this background and with this frame of reference in mind, let's see how Dropbox managed the development for the bot Dropbot. Carolyn?
Thanks, Harshal. Hi, I'm Caroline with the Dropbox Customer Experience team, and I'm happy to introduce you to Dropbox today, in particular how we utilized Amazon Lex to build our chatbot support offering. At Dropbox, our mission is to design a more enlightened way of working. We currently serve more than 600 million customers across 180 countries, including 450,000 teams across the globe. You may know Dropbox as a storage and file sharing tool, but we have grown into a collaboration platform. For work, we are keeping teams organized and in sync by partnering with best-of-breed tools like Atlassian, Zoom, and Slack. At home, we are introducing tools to keep your family's digital lives safe and organized. Within Dropbox sits our customer experience team, who support our customers by creating and enabling experiences that delight our customers and inspire their trust during their Dropbox journey. Every day we make decisions that impact the way our customers feel about our brand. Our job is to understand who they are, what problems they're trying to solve, and what they like and dislike so that we can add value to their future and to ours. We do this by offering unique customer experience for all users in all segments and through a variety of channels. CX is responsible for providing a great support experience to our customers by always delivering the right support at the right time for our customers. Customer centricity in both operations and product decisions. By putting ourselves in the customer's shoes, we are continuously listening to what our customers want, which will enable faster and smarter customer-centered decisions. Using customer intelligence to shape our strategy. By doing this, our goal is to deliver innovative and engaging solutions, which builds customer loyalty and delivers the best customer experience. So we wanted to create a scaled experience that matches the quality and ease of our agent-supported interactions. As such, we decided to develop a chatbot technology within CX that focuses on the needs of our basic customers with the goal to support with technology rather than agents. Defining a differentiated strategy for each customer segment. We will accomplish this by defining the differentiated standards for different customer types based on their support experience. As our chatbot has matured, we want it to be available to customers on all platforms and surfaces. And automating resolution of top customer issues. Our goal is for customers to resolve their issues easily within the chatbot and get the right help for their issue. So with all that in mind, our project team came together, consisting of various teams within CX. We use a hybrid agile model, which consists of sprint planning, bi-weekly scrum meetings, backlog grooming meetings, and sprint review and retros. Our content design is led by global support. These are the authors Harshal referred to earlier on. Copywriters in our case are used to audit the language periodically. The bot development is led by our CX technology team, again, which ties in with builders. In our case, we use our analytics team a lot to inform us of actionable decisions. And all of this is under the ownership of our senior leadership team, who defines our overall strategy. Global support focuses on the content design, and this is done through identifying what issue types our customers have, as well as new product launches. We then create the language and flows, designing the overall customer experience. Technology focuses on integrating between Lex and our chat provider and all our analytics systems. We utilize data from our analytics team to determine new opportunities and resolve existing issues. Some of the key reasons why we went with and continue to use Lex are the ease of integration was a key one for us, especially with our front-end system. We have recently launched Amazon Connect in our support center, and seeing how the two of them will work together not only will be of value to our customers, but to our agents too. Happy agents, happy customers. From a security perspective, being worthy of trust is one of our core values. So having Lex as a preferred vendor made it a much easier choice, as trust is at the center of everything we do for us as a company and for our customers. Their roadmap very much aligned with ours regarding features and availability. And the level of assistance and support, this was key to us as we didn't have that level of chatbot expertise within the business. And having a conversational designer work with us on defining our chatbot's persona and style guide was invaluable. Having the chatbot MVP delivered earlier, we were able to go to market quicker than anticipated, and this aligned with our CX strategy for support experience. The ease at which we can test and publish is a great advantage. As we are a global team, it just means we can launch easily any time of the day. And the ease and simplicity at which you can roll back to previous versions of Lex is imperative, especially when you were rolling in big changes and something may have been missed. So from a technical architecture perspective, how does Lex integrate into Dropbox? It starts with the customer contacting us on dropbox.com/support and selecting Ask Dropbot. This then opens a front-end UI from our chat platform where the Dropbot is introduced. At this point, the customer can either ask their own question or select menu for options. The message then goes into our chat platform and sends it to our Dropbox servers. And our Dropbox servers communicate directly with Lex, where the relevant intent and content is pulled to answer the customer's question and fed back into the front-end UI. After the conversation is over and the chat is ended, our servers then move the chat transcripts into our Dropbox databases. We launched our chatbot in October 2019, primarily as an FAQ bot, where we provided Help Center articles to help customers solve their issues. Over time, we have built on this and brought more of the helpful content into the bot so that customers can solve their issues more quickly. Expanding the topics we support allow us to take in responses that customers asked, and this involves doing a deep dive into the top customer issues and defining solutions within our chatbot to resolve them. When the chatbot was initially launched, we were able to solve about 30% of issue types, and this has now increased to over 85%. We also thought it was very important that our customers are able to ask a question at any point in their journey, so the open prompt is always available to them. To maintain the consistency of our chatbot, we have developed a flow architecture, seen here on the left, which shows that customers should have the option to ask their own question or use our menu options. So let's meet Dropbot. Taking into account Dropbox's brand guidelines and the style guide we developed with the conversational designer, we created our Dropbox persona. Our brand voice is our character and personality, and it comes through in what we say and how we say it. To us, a strong brand voice stands out in the world. It makes people feel like they know us. So our Dropbox persona is usefully intelligent, pretty tech savvy, respectfully empathetic in that it cares about your issue, it's motivated to help, straightforward and unflappable. Happy to help, appreciative that our customers have come to us for help, and finally, pleasantly expressive. So let's have a quick demo. So the customer has selected the menu option in this case, looking for help with account access, security and billing. The bot will then give the option to select a specific issue type or type their own question, where the customer then selects to type their own question, I want to merge two accounts. Our bot returns the relevant intent, telling the customer how to consolidate them and linking in a Help Center article. At the end of every intent, we ask the customer, did it answer your question? The bot then asks, is there anything else they need? The customer selects no, and they're all done. At the end of every interaction, we have a final survey to ask the customer if Dropbox solves their problem. And this metric informs us of the overall customer experience. As our chatbot grows, the style guide helps us to continue to align new features and flows with the chatbot's existing persona. The language audit was a vital part of our bot development in how it aligned with the persona and what traits and tone we want to instill in our chatbot, as well as visual consistency by ensuring the language had the same grammatical flows and punctuation. And the conversational model. As mentioned earlier, implementing a flow architecture was key in providing a predictable experience for our customers when navigating menus. At the same time, we wanted to give them the option to ask a question throughout any point in their journey. So when asking the team how they describe Lex, we came to the overall consensus and was very well summed up by my colleague and program manager, Amanda Mata. Integrating with Lex aligns with Dropbox's mission to design a more enlightened way of working by allowing our project team to work asynchronously, focus on what we do best, and come together to deliver our best support experience. Passing back to Harshal.
Thank you, Carolyn. So let's do a quick recap of what we have launched over the last 1 year to support such conversational experiences, support the different stakeholders on the team, and see how all of this comes together. Our focus on Lex has been to scale languages, improve natural language understanding, and deliver benefits in the contact center. On languages, over the last few months, Lex expanded to support a total of 10 languages. We delivered Spanish, French, and their variants, English variants, along with Italian and German. And we'll be continuing this momentum into 2021 as you see more languages launched. Language understanding is a key capability. We launched the ability to manage context directly from the console. So, for example, let's say you have a bot for banking transactions, and the user asks, what are my expenses this month? And follows that up with, how about last month? Notice the context is still expenses in the second question. Lex now allows you to manage this context directly from the console. So you can just use a couple of context attributes to link together these two intents. And going back to the previous point I made earlier, this is the kind of decoupling that allows you. This is the kind of feature that allows you to decouple between the author persona and the developer persona. So now the author can manage context directly in the console and doesn't have to rely on the developer coding this context in, let's say, Lambda functions. Confidence scores is yet another important capability. We now surface confidence scores for intents, and also we support or also we surface top 5 intents in the Lex response. And you can use this information to disambiguate an intent. So let's say your customer has a credit card account as well as a mortgage account, and they call up and pose the question, when's my next payment due? Notice they didn't specify whether it was for the credit card account or for the mortgage account, and it could be either one of those. So confidence scores tell you that the two intents are very close and that you need to disambiguate. And you could do that by asking a clarifying question. So this is how you can manage a conversation flow now with the top 5 intents and the confidence scores. It just gives you better control on the overall experience. And finally, contact center. This continues to be our strategic area of focus. As I mentioned earlier, Lex natively integrates with Amazon Connect. Earlier this year, we launched the Bargain capability, or this is the ability to interrupt a bot when it's speaking out a prompt, for example. So your users can interrupt and answer questions that they're already familiar with. We followed up Bargain with the ability to configure different timeouts related to voice activity and related to silence detection. So with these tools, you can now manage a collection of information. For example, if you're trying to collect information such as a credit card number, typically which takes longer to capture, you can tune the voice activity detection and the silence detection on such prompts. So that's how we are continuing to innovate on the contact center domain. And just wanted to share a few resources you could use before we conclude. You can engage with our solution architect team members as you put together a plan for chatbots in your organization. We have a ML solutions lab for POCs and custom solutions. Lastly, we have the AWS partner network, including our contact center intelligence or CCI, providing you access to qualified partners who can help you build and productionize chatbots. So thank you again for your time today. Please feel free to reach out to us through one of the many channels as you start on your conversational AI journey. Thank you.